I'm with Lennard Albarda here at Eindhoven Airport, and we are going to talk about the Peacock project today. Eindhoven Airport is part of the consortium for the Peacock project under the SESAR joint undertaking. I would like to ask you what encouraged you to get on board with SESAR, but also this specific project, and how did this align with the strategic priorities of Eindhoven Airport?
So Eindhoven Airport was already researching the topic of turnaround monitoring with AI, and while researching this topic and discussing it with Eurocontrol, they mentioned this program that they had within SESAR, or at least that they were going to start within SESAR, and we directly saw a one-on-one match basically. So therefore, we decided that we could be of a good help within that program. And from there on, we decided to join that consortium.
So, what is Peacock, and what does it aim to achieve?
Peacock is a program with which we collaborate with a lot of European airports, and the main goal is to get the regional airports within Europe more connected to the network manager, in this case Eurocontrol. What we currently see, or what Eurocontrol at this moment experiences, is that mainly the biggest airports are supplying them with data, with information, in order to optimize the European sky, basically, in order to let everybody fly in the most efficient way. But if regional airports would also contribute to that and share information with them about the current status of their current turnarounds, then they would have more information in order to further optimize their network, which is at this moment pretty congested. So this is probably very useful information for them. Peacock came to life because we decided to have a different look at sharing data, because we wanted to do it with artificial intelligence. We wanted to see if this type of technology could help us with automating the monitoring of the turnarounds at our airport.
So you mentioned tools, and I think that we can dive a little bit deeper. There is a specific tool as part of the Peacock project that is the quasi-automatic turnaround milestone surveillance process. And that specific tool aims at increasing predictability of flight departures estimates. How do you see this changing daily operations at Eindhoven Airport, and how will those implementations maybe enhance the coordination and also, in general, the predictability of ops?
This can make quite a big difference, because at this moment, all turnaround milestones are put in by hand. So we are timestamping all the different activities that happen during a turnaround manually. And with the help of artificial intelligence, we can shift from manual work to an automated process. So this type of technology can automatically detect what kind of activities currently happen during a turnaround. And from seeing a lot of turnarounds over and over again, it can eventually learn and predict when a turnaround will be finished. And in that sense, when an aircraft is ready to depart again. And this is, of course, very valuable information which we currently don't have. So as an airport, most of the time, the status of a turnaround is kind of a black box. So you don't know how far they are within their process and when they are ready to leave again. And this type of technology can open up that black box and give us transparent insights in both this current status, as in making predictions on which we can proactively act upon, basically. So what we see is that if we start sharing this information with the network manager, they will get bits of new information in order to re-optimize the European network. And with the help of these predictive departure times, they can also allocate more efficient slots to aircrafts. So that can result in minimizing delays, of course, but also making sure that the slots they do allocate to an aircraft are being used and that they can actually manage to fly on that particular slot, because they know based on those predictive times when they are ready to depart again.
That's also amazing because it shows how it can have benefits at local level, so at your own airport, because the AI is learning and giving you those insights, but then also this information can help plug it into the network and thinking about the network. And then here I'll bring it back to what you already mentioned, is that part of the Peacock project is about plugging the entire consortium of airports into the network manager. I've heard it's an impressive 20 airports, among them Eindhoven. So I wonder whether you could give us a little bit of a sneak peek into that collaboration, and actually why this sort of collaboration is so important for the entire aviation ecosystem.
First of all, it's very nice to work together with so many airports from the start of this project. We can see that very different airports are working together now, which is a nice thing because it shows that even though all those airports are different and have different challenges, because we are of different size, with different amounts of flight movement, different types of aircrafts, in the end we are also facing the same problems. And this directly creates some sort of bond and some sort of main goal that we want to tackle as a whole. Besides that, we see that if more and more airports would contribute to sharing data with the network manager, that the effect will even be bigger. Because if we gather more data, more insights in order to optimize, then the optimization will automatically be more effective in that sense. It's really nice to see that you can work with so many partners from different airports, different countries, different sizes, and work on this same goal.
It really sounds like a virtual cycle, right? That the more you share the data, the more it improves your operations, but then also the network benefits enormously. And speaking about benefits, so we do know that SESAR solutions bring a wealth of benefits to airports implementing them. But I wanted to ask you whether there was anything that was a bit of an unexpected benefit or some elements that surprised you in the implementation of this specific project.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think one of the biggest surprises is that since we are working together with different kinds of airports in terms of different kinds of sizes, that we are facing the same data problem in that sense. So we are all looking for information in order to steer upon, to make actions upon, and to make more data-driven decisions. So what surprised me was that also, let's say, the bigger airports were looking for this kind of information and therefore were really interested in solutions in order to monitor their turnarounds more effectively. It's really nice to see that if you collaborate and we share the outcomes of our research together and we learn from the mistakes we make, but also the positive sides, that we can really help out each other to make sure that we get a good quality of data and that we together make sure that sharing the data with the network manager in the end has a big effect. I think that was a pretty a surprising outcome. Yeah.
That also brings me to my next question, which is about the specificity of Eindhoven Airport as a regional airport venturing into digital transformation. I'm curious whether this aspect of being a regional player has brought any specific challenges or opportunities, as you say, when it comes to implementing new technologies.
Implementing new technologies can be a challenge because change can be quite difficult, especially when we now are talking about artificial intelligence. I mean, this type of technology is pretty new, and we are all learning and finding out what it can do and what it can't do. But what we learned from our current experiences is that taking all your stakeholders on a step-by-step approach and show them what you're doing and explaining them why you do it and how you are implementing this new technology really helps with the adoption. So what we try to do is let them understand how this technology works and how it can make their lives more easy on a day-to-day basis, because it will have an impact on all our operational colleagues at the airport, because their jobs will change. We will change from manual work to automated work. But if everybody sees how the benefits will result in a better operation, then they are more willing to adopt it and are even open to think along. What we currently see is that now they are understanding this technology, that they proactively come back to the project team and come up with ideas and are trying to verify with us, okay, if we are doing A, can we then also try to do this instead? And this is a really nice shift that we see.
And do you think that compared to some major international airports, do you have any perks in this implementation? Like maybe are there ways in which it is easier or quicker actually for Eindhoven Airport to implement, digital transformation and all those new technologies?
In some ways it could be. I mean, we are relatively small, so we have shorter lines of communication with our partners. Which really helps with the collaboration because we can speak with them more directly and we have a more regular and more frequent contact with them. So that really helps. And also we try to proof of concept. So we try to come up with an idea, we test it quite quickly, check the outcomes, evaluate, and then decide whether we want to dive further into it or leave it there. And I think for being a smaller airport, you can do these types of cycles quite quickly instead of the bigger airports where you are directly facing with more stakeholders, longer procedures, and I think that's definitely a benefit of being a smaller airport.
There is this misconception out there that, for instance, SESAR solutions are mostly for the big players, let's say. And here you are, an example that actually proves to the contrary. And so as a successful implementer of the Peacock project, for instance, do you feel that your experience is proving them wrong, actually, in this view?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fully understand that because, to be honest, Eindhoven hasn't done many of these types of projects. So we have done some in the past, but not that frequent, I must say. But I think what really helps is that you are not in this alone. So within this consortium, you are really working together, and there will be big players in there, but also smaller players. But we try to help out, and if you have a strong project lead on this, and you have a party which really brings together the group and sets the milestones, making sure that everybody is contributing in order to meet those milestones, then that really helps as a small player to be a part of these types of programs. And I think if it is structured in this kind of way, then you definitely are able to contribute there and to make a nice contribution and to share the insights of a regional airport instead of the largest ones, because we will have different insights compared to them, and it's definitely useful to use them in these types of programs.
Everybody brings something valuable to the table in the end. With one successful project under your belt, I am here to ask you what are the plans for the future? Are you already eyeing any of the SESAR solutions, or maybe would you like to implement some other work packages that are available under the entire Peacock project umbrella?
Yeah, so I think we could. So at this moment we are fully focused on the Peacock program, and we are making sure that the results will be good and that we will reach our main goal, of course. And yeah, if we at the end of the project see some new opportunities for a new SESAR project to contribute in, then I would say why not? Why not make a contribution there as well?
And in terms of new technologies, are you eyeing anything specific for the improvement of your operations?
Yeah, so we are always exploring new technologies, and it can be within the field of artificial intelligence, but it can also be in the field of, let's say, autonomous driving on the platform. And we are always try to see what kind of products are currently present in the market and which one we can use in a smart way to optimize our operation. So yes, we are always looking forward in that sense. And try to do our daily job in an even smarter way tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Lennard. It was really great talking to you about the Peacock project, but also what you have going on at Eindhoven Airport.
Thank you very much.